Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today on Inzoi, we'll be talking about all the updates and the roadmap for the whole year, for the game of the year. Let's do a quick breakdown of everything that should be happening this year for Inzoi. Be ready. It's amazing. So here's a quick overview of the big roadmap update year for Inzoi. And I know since everyone is so busy with the gameplay on here that no one is, as usual, talking about the important things that are down the line. So I thought I would do it in a very concise, precise way, and we're going to do it right now. Let's take a look. So the first update, which will be in May, the first big update in May, they will introduce the first mod kits. We all know Blender, so that'll be the first time we actually have mod kits available. I'm curious how long post-release will the mods start to pop out. I'll be trying to keep my eye on top of that as much as I can. But yeah, it seems like the first thing for the mod kits will be in May. I'm curious how they're going to have everything come together with Blender. That should be very, very, very interesting to see. And of course, the very much talked about the weight and the muscle adjustments for certain people that feel like their weight, they can't show it and they got a problem with that. I'm assuming Inzoi will be making changes to that system in May. So for everyone that's going crazy, in less than 2 months, you should have a brand new weight system, muscle system. So I think we should all keep in mind that when we are talking about early access, because I think what happens is so much so happens where people get lost in not understanding it is early access. So you can't just be like, well, what's going on? Why isn't this working? Blah, 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 blah. It's early access. That's why it takes time. So you always have to understand they're going to be doing updates, and then these updates are based really on what the players think. It's not like they're just glued to these. There could be more, there could be less, there could be changes where something else does not. So that's also very key to know about the weight changes. It will be coming in May. In the game cheat codes. Now, what does that look like? I don't know, like what? A money cheat? I mean, so I don't know what in-game cheat codes will really look like for this game. So I'm curious how they're going to present that, because I'm trying to gauge what would be in-game cheat codes that would feel non-cheesy and that would feel like it's a natural part of a game, just to help it enhance it, because cheat codes are usually used to make the game easier in some form or fashion for you. I don't know in this kind of game, besides maybe the money cheat, would it really do anything for you. So I'm curious how that will look. So I will reserve thought on that until it gets talked about more. Now, I'm curious about what they mean by improvements as far as when it comes to, will that mean with dating? Will that mean with your family? Because there's all kinds you can have as far as relationships. So I'm curious, they mean the family ones or your like love interest ones, because obviously those are two different things. So I'm curious about that. Now, I think that one will be heavily based on people's feedback of the game once the game gets released. I think it's going to be huge what people say. So I think that'll be big. That'll be big. Now, the adoption system. I believe this is about the adopt a pet. I believe this is about the adopt a pet feature. I remember, if you're following the Discord, you'll know they spoke about this, the adopt a pet feature. So I'm curious when that will come out. I mean, that's what we know, it's May, but I'm curious. Back then we were curious what's coming out. Now we know May. That's going to be huge. So he made a mention that every time he goes to work, he takes the bus. Kujan, the head dev of the team here, and he always sees stray animals. So that kind of inspired him about the adopt a pet system. So that'll be coming in May. I'm very curious how that gets worked in. I'm very curious how people enjoy that. So that'll be an overall new experience. I'm curious to get people's mindset and approach and everything else on about that. I'm very curious to hear their thoughts and just really what they are looking forward to, because that is really going to be one that comes again with the feedback of the community. So it's going to be very big there. Now, build mode improvements and new furniture. Clearly, for the ones who struggle with build mode, and we know who they are, they will need help. So clearly Inzoi cares about you as well. So they'll give you help. There's going to be improvements, basically to make it easier. New furniture. I'm curious what that will look like, if there's a more wide ranging, and how much new furniture will we get. That should be exciting to find out. There's going to be create a Inzoi improvements. That's very exciting, because create a Inzoi is probably the best feature so far. So I think that's really cool. Create a Inzoi improvements, I think, should be great. I'm curious to see how they do that. I do think, again, you have to really monitor what you're doing, what you need to fix. There's not much you need to fix with Create a Inzoi. I would just add a bunch of outfits, add clothes. That's it. I would add clothes. That's about it. I would add clothes. I wouldn't even add anything else. Too much other stuff besides that, because I think that's the only big thing you really need to do is add clothes. So again, that's a lot for one May update. That is a lot. So again, you have to keep in mind that is a lot, where you're going to be dealing with a lot of updates, mod kit, weight changes, in-game cheat codes, dating probably improvements. You can adopt a pet, build mode improvements, create a Inzoi improvements, and you're going to get brand new updated outfits. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So that's just the first roadmap. And now as they go through the year, they have a second one. They have a second major update coming in August. That's going to have, let's break it down, Ghostplay. Now, we first heard about Ghostplay a few weeks ago. It's basically going to be this afterlife feature, and it's really about, depending on how you live your life with your Inzoi, you can tell or not if you're gonna be able to have that feature or not. So Ghostplay will be something we'll have to watch them implement. They'll be very curious. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Pools and with the swimming, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be so cool. I mean, man, this game, that's what I'm saying. By the time the game is a full year out, it's going to be so complete, so many things to do. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be more resources for Edit City. There's going to be, so now that's going to be cool now. What does that mean? Again, a lot of this stuff we have to kind of do, like, I don't know, like a guessing game and kind of like an innuendo type thing. Really don't know what it means per se. We're doing a big, just a big guess, and that's fine. But it's just like, what does that mean? So I guess more options. We gotta wait and see on that. But so that's always my takeaway. Like, what does this mean? how does this affect this? What does this do for this? You feel what I'm saying? And I kind of go off that and kind of base a lot of things around that and off that. So I'm curious how this will affect it, and what does that mean? More resources for the edit city, like what does that really kind of mean and what will look like? That always has me on my toes, a little worried. So we'll definitely see and have to keep a strong eye on this for sure. AI build mode. I think this will be the biggest thing to come into the game, probably besides other stuff that I'll look at here in a minute. This will pretty much free up everybody. So for the ones who are struggling with AI build mode, the ones who are struggling with build mode, there will be AI build mode coming. So that's very important. For the ones who didn't know that, or ones who are struggling with build mode, don't worry. There will be a AI build mode sometime this year before the summer ends. So before the fall, you'll definitely be able just to do what you want as far as in build mode. I think seeing the way someone struggled, Inzoi will make sure to have it very seamless, so that anyone can build the home that they love, the home of their dreams in the game. At the end of the day, even though we have some crappy content creators who don't even have time to mention that, we will at least be honest to Inzoi and realize that come August, those problems should be erased, and you should be able to freely create whatever you want at any level you're at when it comes to being a builder. So even though I will say, if you just read the directions, you should be fine in the current builder mode that is in the demo. Now, there will be freelance jobs. Super cool idea. What will this be? Will this be photography? We also have already read about that. Will you be able to be a journalist? They've mentioned a K-pop idol. So I'm curious what that will look like, and if one of those can be your main job over time. Is there certain requirements when you're doing the job that you have to meet every day at a certain time? I'm just curious how that whole thing would go with that. So again, I think that's a DLC, or it could be given to us for free. I'm not too sure, but that's a really, really cool idea. Now, when I say DLC for the freelance jobs, what I'm saying is at a certain point, there's going to be so many they want to do. I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't bother me if they eventually put something behind a paywall, just like every once in a while. I wouldn't mind that, since we're getting so much with the base game already, and that's why The Sims is pretty much finished. So I'm very curious to see what type of freelance jobs there will be. That should be really, really cool. Now, improvements to text messages and skills. Once we get to playing, I think we'll see what improvements they need. I think that's why they put, if you saw when I put the whole art sheet there, at the bottom right, they said is based on the player's feedback. So I think this right here, for example, is going to be one that's exactly based off the player's feedback, because it's going to be like, okay, players, what do you think about this? Do you like how the texting feels, the flow of it, all that kind of stuff? So I do think that will be a directly fan talked about, fan influenced fix there for sure. Now, parenting improvements, again, based on how we play, I think we'll understand. Remember, the devs have put in a lot of time with the game, so some of these things they are alluding to, they probably know about very well, and we will learn about once the game gets released. That's to be very key about that. Now, it's good they're upfront about it. Now, when they say parenting improvements, what's that mean? I guess again, it's hard to say until we get our hands on the game, but I'm assuming maybe being more attentive and not letting them wander, or maybe showing more of a range of emotions. I'm not really sure exactly what that will be, but it'll be curious to see, and curious how it plays. That'll be very, very key. So we're looking forward to the second update in August. And of course, now there will be a DLC, a brand new city. So there will be its first DLC will be in August, a brand new city. So that is something that we will have to monitor. It's going to be great because finally everything will get released at the same time for everybody. So I think that will be awesome as well. What I'm really looking forward to is now with all the improvements that they'll have, you'll have the pools to swim in. It's going to be really a fly thing, and I'm just super excited for that DLC. I'm curious what's going to look like, what's going to feel like. There's so much they can put into that city based off our thoughts. Now remember, by the time the first DLC comes, so many updates will be to the game, mixed with their own improvements, mixed with our own thoughts in there as well. So by the first DLC, the game is going to be pretty much flawlessly seamless. All the AI build mode. I mean, by August, the game is probably going to be the greatest game of all time. If you think about it, with the way these updates are going to come, I mean, it's going to be crazy. So this game's going to be around for a long time. And that DLC looks amazing. In August, there will be another update towards the end of the year in October. Now, this here will be for a family tree. Again, we gotta wait to hear more what that means. Hotkey customizations, they will be big. I'm curious, but that, to hold off on that for a minute. I'm curious when we will get controller support, or when the game starts up next week. Well, really in a couple days, because it's now here. So basically Thursday or Friday. I'm curious, when will we can use controllers? Because that will be big. If you can ever get controller base here, that will be huge, because of just some people really prefer controller, even though there's nothing wrong with even though there's nothing wrong at all with using a keyboard. It just, for some of us, it's more seamless with the controller. For some of us, we would rather figure it out on a controller. So definitely hope that comes with that. Now, build mode. Adjust object size. Again, there'll probably be a mod out for this prior, but officially from Inzoi, that'll be out in October. Looks good. I think the main one was the AI build mode, so a person who is bad at building can just simply type in something. AI can make you a whole cool house, and then you just paint it type shit, New furniture would be coming. That would be cool again, just new stuff, cooler stuff. I think at this part of the year, I don't know if those things really matter. I mean, they matter, but it's more of like cute add-ons, you know what I'm saying? Moving home UX improvements, that'll be big as well. Anything that's linked with build mode will be big, because build mode will be what keeps the game around a lot. People want to be able to express themselves, whether it's with their clothes, their music, their homes in the game. So it's going to be very key that build mode constantly gets updated, constantly gets overviewed, constantly is trying to look for improvements, constantly. That is key for them. Absolutely. And I think the AI build mode is one of their best and greatest ideas of a team that is already very, very, very smart. Again, there will be more Creator Inzoi improvements. I love creating Inzoi, so I'm curious what that will mean for people like me. I don't know how much what you can do after you've done one in August. I mean, or maybe whichever is going to come. So that would be cool as well. We'll definitely see about that. And then we have mod updates. I think by this time there will be its own mods out from separate people. So I think Inzoi might be playing a bit of catch up here in this particular area. But I think overall, again, it's always good to get official mod updates from the company. That's always good. That means they are into it, they like it, and that's always a plus. So always cheer that on. Always cheer that on. So, as we look at the 3 updates, the game really starts to get into cooking mode for updates towards the summer in May. Now, everything we talked about, things could change based on players' feedback. They might push things up, push things back, leave things how they are. But so that's why it's very important we all stay honest with them in the Discord and in other places and don't let false narratives get made on them. So, because this here is a lot of great updates, and we have that great Cat Island DLC coming in August. I really, really can't wait for that. So it's a lot of exciting news coming from Inzoi. Really, 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 really looking forward to it. And yeah, so I think that'll be all for now. I want to say thank you for listening and watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Be well.